Hello. So it's been quite a while since we practiced together. I have some new technology now here, which I hope will make it easier for me to record something to share with you. I'm just really inspired to be back, and I miss teaching so much. So thank you for joining me. So this should be an hour practice approximately. For this practice, I would recommend either a beach towel or a blanket that you could put under your knees. You might want 2 blocks. You might also want a chair nearby so that when we do balance poses, you could use that assist if it's needed. So I would call this practice a gentle to moderate practice because you're really in charge of what you do here. So I'm going to demonstrate some things that are primarily gentle, but I really encourage you to do more if doing more is what you need today. And then conversely, if you have an area of healing or maybe some sharp pain in a joint, that's a good reminder to do less. So take care of yourself. I'm not there to look out for you in this way, but I hope my words will remind you to look out for yourself. And so for inspiration today, the Ecuadorian poet Young Pueblo has offered 2 points that I'd like to share with you for centering as we begin. He writes, "I cannot make you happy, but I can commit to support you in the creation of your own happiness." To that end, he suggests these things to improve your life. Number 1, make self-love a top priority. Number 2, learn a self-healing technique. Number 3, this is a big one, create space for daily healing. Number 4, know that everything changes. And number 5, be kind, loving, and honest to all. So I bet you're doing a lot of these things already. And if this practice would layer on one more step for you, then my goal has been met. So let's begin on the mat. You'll notice I'm elevating my hips a bit. That works great for my body, so do what works well for yours. Props are wonderful ways to keep ourselves aligned. Let's just take a moment to let ourselves come back to the mat. Just welcome yourself home to this mat that's always here for you. And just begin by noticing the body, noticing the breath. And just see what's present for you today. Resting ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Take a minute just to bring some awareness to the sitting bones that are resting down, maybe some side-to-side action. And then let's just begin a little circling of the upper body around the sitting bones. So take your time. This is your moment to explore, what is your body bringing to your practice today, perhaps after a night's sleep, perhaps it's been a big walk for you, some swimming, some biking, some tennis. Beautiful. Let's go the other direction. Good. And the next time the body is aiming forward with that circle, just tiptoe the fingertips away and just do a little Observation here, maybe picking up one shoulder and then the other. Big stretch for the lats that go down the back. Letting the head drop down for a moment. Or a big stretch for the whole erector spinea, all of those muscles that support the spine. Then let's mindfully come back to the center. Again, arranging ourselves in such a way that everything is resting one on top of the other. Sensation of lifting up now through the navel, this kind of zipping up in the front. Let's connect movement and breath. That is our practice. So inhaling up, and then just turn the palms out, coming back through the same space for the exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Then let that left hand rest beside you as you pick up the right arm. Awareness still to those sitting bones, equally pressing down toward the earth and grounding you this morning as you awaken through the upper body. So try revolve, opening a bit through the heart, maybe gazing slightly up. Smooth breath in and out. Imagine bringing breath to this lung in particular. Then let's come all the way back, working our way to the other side. Same areas of focus, just on the other side of the body. Beautiful, coming all the way back. So let's roll the shoulders a bit, picking them up and rolling them away from the chest, away from the heart. And maybe as you do this, just think about all of the wonderful things that you're doing for your body already. Maybe it's eating more mindfully, maybe more time for rest, more time for reflection, meditation. Maybe it's more cardio, getting outside in the summer and taking a wonderful walk. Good, let's now let the arms just float up. Let's do some movement through the fingers and the wrists. And then pick up one palm and then the other. Tender squeeze of the shoulder blades behind you, activating the rhomboid at the center upper back. As we exhale, let's close the book. As we inhale, let's open up. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Then just pick up the arms and drop the hands behind the head. Some rocking now, a little deeper. And let's just keep one arm up. Just a little encouragement through the shoulder, just to deepen that side stretch if that works for you. Coming back, going to the other side. Beautiful. Now moving up to the head and the neck, just dropping the chin down toward the chest. Let's draw a little infinity symbol in the air, like an 8 laying on its side. And if you feel some of that or hear that crunching in the neck, don't worry, most of us have it. Good, raising the face back up. Let's gaze softly over the right shoulder. Come back to the center, gazing over left. Good, and now we'll come back and we'll begin to work on lower body, working our way toward this powerful core that's the center of you. Let's come up carefully. Placing blocks at the front of the mat. This is the time that you may want to Use a little something under the knees if the knees are tender. Always modifying as you need to for your joints, for the history in your body. So let's just begin with knees tracking directly under hips, placing the hands down under the shoulders. So really set ourselves up here. And let's do a little cat-cow. So as you exhale, round the spine, let the head drop down, tuck the tail under. And as you inhale, pick up the tail, drop the heart, raise the face softly. Exhaling, feel that beautiful juiciness now all around the spine. Inhaling. One more stretch this way. Really wonderful if you've been doing a lot of sitting, maybe a lot of reading or computer time. Good. Then let's flatten out the back. So for many of us, that means engaging the core, drawing the navel in and up. Let's turn under both sets of toes. Option to do a little hovering here to start to awaken through the center of the body. So just letting the knees float up an inch or two from the ground. If this isn't for you, just enjoy more cat-cows. Let's just enjoy another 3 strong exhalations here. Letting the inhale show up when it needs to. Good. Then option to take one set of toes back and then the other. Creating plank pose. Lengthening through heels, lengthening through the crown of the head. If you really want to go here and time yourself, you can always stop this video right now and just get out your watch and time it. If you still want more, try picking up one foot and then the other. And then when you're ready, just hinge up through the hips. Find a very easy peasy downward facing dog. So walking the dog. Saying good morning to hamstrings. Or good afternoon. And then tenderly invite the knees to touch back down. Again, still using those props if you need to. Let's take the right set of toes back, rocking into the heel. Let that leg come up. Let's do some circling with the foot and ankle. And then if you wish, offer the opposite arm. Focal point on the mat to protect your head and neck. Good. Let the hand return. Take this foot all the way across the body. Look over the opposite shoulder to see it. Then keep the foot there. Keep the left hand down, reaching into the right arm. The hand returns, the knee returns. Now we take the left set of toes back, rocking into the heel. Raise the leg up, so engaging the core here, a little balance and strength. Opposite arm could reach in the other direction. So yoga gives us opportunities not just for strengthening muscles, but for helping the bones remain dense and strong. The hand returns. We take this foot across the body to see it over the other shoulder. And then we rock onto the right arm, stacking the shoulders, reaching up toward a new day. Good. The hand returns, the knee returns. Now let's open up the knees. Big toe mounds could come together and just offer a nice child's pose. So it can feel nice just to take a block with you. Let that block rest under the forehead. And just reconnect with natural breath here. And we could use that block. So slide the block up in between the fingertips. Take the block over to the left. Deeper stretch for the right side body, the intercostal muscles there. Coming back to the center, taking the block to the right. Same option for the left side. Good. Coming back, let's place both blocks on the front. Coming back to all fours. Walk the hands toward the body. And let's just do a little sun breath on the knees. So inhaling up. Exhaling palms to heart space. Big breath in, taking breath all the way to the base of the body. And exhaling. One more breath, just getting grounded before we get into our feet and legs. Now inviting the right foot onto the mat. So notice the right angle that can be made with that right leg. Feel free to pick up blocks. This is what I call the number one position when they're tall. Bringing them back under my shoulders. Turning under the back set of toes. And really letting the legs do a lot of this work. So great stretch for psoas. Also for piriformis. So just take a moment to find your connection to the earth. Strong legs. Smooth breath in and out. So you could stay here and breathe. Very little effort in the hands, or you could layer on a twist. Left hand comes to the block, right hand comes to the hip. Nice stretch now for the outside of the hip. Perhaps you're feeling it in the gluteals. Then we'll come back to the center, carefully bring the back knee down. Straighten out the front leg for a moment, walking the hands back toward the body. Another nice stretch for hamstrings, that group of muscles on the back of the leg. Good, then we'll take that knee down, taking the left foot forward, creating that right angle to support and protect the knee. Perhaps you want to stay here. This is another option. Just walk the foot forward. If you want to find the lunge on this side, turn under the back set of toes. Same options here. Just feeling the strong legs that support you. If you want the twist, let the right hand remain on the block. Left hand comes to the hip crease. Notice where you feel the stretch primarily in your body. So in yoga, we're here to observe that. Just explore. Bringing that hand back to the block. The knee carefully touches down and we straighten out the front leg. Good, so now we'll mindfully come to standing. There are many ways to do it, but this is my preferred way to teach you because we always want to be able to get up and down from the floor. So the hands could rest on the thigh, turn under the back set of toes, press into the feet, and here you are. Great. So take a moment just to be in the body. See what's so for you today. And then we'll create our mountain pose, building it from the base up as we do all standing poses in yoga. Feet are about hip distance apart. Notice the bottom of the feet, big toe mound, baby toe mound, as well as the center of the heel. Muscles lifting through the perineum, sense of zipping up through the abdominals. Open the shoulders. Draw the head back that tends to drift forward. And just arrive enjoying 3 breaths in your mountain pose, stability and strength. You being your tallest, most sure of yourself. No matter how strong the wind, it can't blow over a mountain. Beautiful. Let's let the arms just float up. Just take them to the angle that works for you. One hand takes one wrist. Nice stretch for the side. Come back to the center. Now taking the other wrist. Good. We'll come back and just allow the arms to come down. I'm going to adjust this just a tiny bit, because I think I'm too tall for my screen. Great. Where was I? So let's find our chair pose. So from I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. Orient your mat any way that works for you, and feel free to stop this video at any time and make those adjustments for yourself. So my feet are a little bit more than hip distance apart now. Again, I'm feeling those critical points at the bottom of the feet, making sure that my body weight is resting evenly on all of them. And then I engage the core, starting to draw the tailbone down. Maybe a little more weight goes in the heels here. Arms could open up with thumbs up. If that's too much for your shoulders, keep hands on hips. And breathe. Layer on that stronger exhalation, perhaps the Ujjayi breath if that works for you. And with an inhalation, let's come back up. Take a moment just to pause and notice the body. Let's go back down for an option to go a little deeper. Sinking into feet. Navel draws back toward the spine. And if you want more here, you could pick up one heel and then the other, finding your sparrow pose, so a little balance. Bringing heels back down, inhaling back up. One more time, we arrive in chair. Let this be your deepest expression of chair today, whatever that means for you. Hands come to heart center. One elbow goes to the opposite knee. We come back to center. Other elbow, other knee. Great. Coming back, let's come back up. Draw the arms behind us. If you're able to interlace hands together, do that. If not, just keep them back there. Let's draw the arms and hands away from the body, so get that wonderful stretch for the pecs on the front of the chest. Also starting to activate muscles in the upper back. If you don't have high blood pressure that's uncontrolled or glaucoma, you could follow me, bending the knees, hinging at the hips, gazing down and picking up the arms and hands to the degree that you're able. Let a little stress roll off the back. Keep the knees soft. And with an inhalation, let's mindfully and slowly press into the feet. Bring the arms back. Now let's roll the shoulders again away from the heart. Beautiful. Let's take the right foot forward now, stepping back generously with the left. So my right foot is aiming toward this side of the mat, left heel toward the back, but the back foot is about 45 degrees. Pelvis is aiming forward to the degree that's natural for your body, that doesn't cause any harm to the knees. From here, let's track the knee right over the ankle. And when you feel solid in your feet, you feel really balanced there, pick up the beach ball. Soft gaze upward. And just invite 3 full breaths, connecting with your own courage. Know that you are a warrior. Good. Allow the arms to simply float down. Back arm that's left for me, rests on the left leg. Pick up the right palm, sending it to the sky. Exalted or peaceful warrior. Just breathing in peace and serenity. Those are the byproducts of self-care. Good. Let's come back. Take the toes forward. Give yourself a little surrender here. So soften the knees. Let the arms dangle like pendulums. Just giving yourself that moment to tune in. And then as you're ready, bring hands to hip creases, coming up with that relatively flat back. Always thinking about the core as we do this. Take the left foot now, aiming it toward the front of the mat on that side. Right heel toward the back. Pelvis does its best to aim forward. Now we track the knee over the ankle here. And then option to pick up that beach ball. If it's too much for your shoulders, just keep hands on your hips. 3 smooth and easy breaths in and out. So fill up with breath and then enjoy the long exhalation. Good. Keeping the lower body the way it is, the arms come down. Right arm rests on the extended back right leg. Left palm reaches up toward the sky. Just inviting more love, more peace. Good. Then let's bring the arms back. Bring toes forward. Let's take one block now. Legs are stretched out. Placing the block down below us. I tend to put it under my heart. So from here, let's hinge at the hips, come halfway down. Right hand reaches for the block. Left hand reaches for the hip. So feel the nice stretch on the inner thigh, opposite leg. You could reach that left arm up, or you could bind it behind you. Just explore. Let's come back to the center. Now left hand rests on the block. Right hand comes to the hip crease. Option to reach up or to bind the arm. Beautiful stretch for adductors on the inside of the thigh. Great. Coming back to the center. Take the block back up to the front. Let's bring hands to hip creases, coming up with that relatively flat back. Now we'll heel and toe the feet a little bit closer, setting up the base of the body for goddess pose. So draw the knees out over the feet. Upper body stays lifted and elevated. Navel draws into spine. We could pick up one arm and then the other. Think of transformation in your body, in your life, some transformation that's probably already happened for you. Let's inhale up. As we exhale down, we'll find the lion's breath sticking out the tongue. Maybe think of the next layer of transformation that you welcome. Let's do it again. I wish I could see you because it always makes me laugh. Beautiful. Let's bring hands to thighs. Let's identify one shoulder, just dip it down. Beautiful stretch for the upper and mid back. Come back to the center, dipping down with the other shoulder. Good. Come all the way back. Let's straighten the legs. Heel and toe the feet back together. Take a moment for that tuning in. Dear body, how are you doing now? What else can I do to support your happiness? Good. From here, let's turn toward the upper end of the mat where we have our blocks. I'm going to sink into my left foot, all of my body weight on the left now. I think I'll come here. You might need that chair nearby if balance is not showing up for you today, or maybe it will in a moment. So as you're ready, lifting up muscles, lifting up the core, engaging perineum. Let's just pick up the other thigh. So you could stay here. This is fantastic for balance and strength. Or you could just, with breath, press the heel back, engaging the gluteals now. Inhaling up, exhaling back. We never want to forget that this is part of our core, not just what's on the front of the body. Let's do 2 more. Good, then let that rest down. Now I'm going to go back to that left foot again. Body weight on the left. I'm keeping my toes just touching down for balance here as I work my way into Warrior 3. Hinging at the hips. Fingers come down to those nice tall blocks on the number 1 position. Let the back leg float up. Stay with the blocks if you wish. Pick up the arms if you want to find your airplane. Find a variation of Warrior 3 that works for you today. I think I need the blocks. And then carefully bring that foot back. Give yourself a nice forward fold here. Soften the knees generously. And then let's carefully hinge back up. Now bringing body weight to the right foot. Setting up from the base. The feet, the leg, the core. Letting that other leg float up if you wish. Staying here for balance and strength, or pressing back with the heel. Let's find 2 more. Good. Then go back into that right foot again. Soft micro bend in the knee. Hinging at the hips. Hands float down to find the blocks. Back leg floats up. Finding Warrior 3 on this side. Your variation, your body. Good. Let the foot return. Let's do 1 more surrender here. Let's breathe in and just sigh it out. Good. Then let's hinge back up. Let's open the feet generously now. I'll take the left foot, aiming it toward that side of the mat. The right heel toward this side. Now my pelvis has more of an opportunity to open without any forcing. Let the arms float up. Take a moment to engage upper back as you squeeze the shoulder blades together just slightly. Keeping the hips and legs where they are, we reach with an inhale. With the upper body, we exhale back. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Next time we reach, when you're at the end of this movement and stretch, just pause there. Let the upper arm float down. If reaching up is too much for the other arm, keep it on your shoulder. Find your Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhaling up. Now we track the knee right over the ankle. Conversation with the knee says, work your way back toward the baby toe of that front foot. Then let the arms float up shoulder height, gazing over the left long finger. Courage and honesty, lots of self-love. Let's bend the front arm, resting it lightly on the thigh, reaching up and over, side angle stretch. And then just windmill the arms back, toes are forward, knees are soft, time to surrender again. Arms are like pendulums. And when you found that repose, bring hands to hip creases coming back up. Now aiming the right foot toward its end of the mat, left heel toward the other. Take a moment just to establish yourself here. As you're ready, let the arms float up. That same tracking of the upper body, inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. Now let's reach to the extent that's reasonable for you. Let the fingertips touch down. No pressure on that lower knee. Other arm goes up, or it could rest on your hip. Feel the opening on the inner thigh of the front leg, perhaps some in the chest as well. With breath, let's come back. Let's bend the front knee, resting it right over the ankle. Again, invitation to track it back toward that baby toe, gazing over the front arm. Core is engaged. Let's bend the front arm, resting it lightly on the thigh. Opportunity for a side stretch here. Lengthen from the outside of that left foot all the way to the fingertips. Beautiful stretch for the fascia. Good, let's come all the way back. Let's heel and toe the feet together. Just tuning in now for a breath. Great, let's mindfully bring ourselves back down to the mat. I'm going to adjust my screen again. So one foot is forward, we rest down on the back knee. Then both knees are down. We toggle the feet to one side and come down onto hips. So a few things you might want to think about: have the props nearby to use, that is blocks, as well as blanket or towel. And if you have a tender or sensitive sacrum or perhaps tender low back, consider placing that under the sacrum right now. So let's take a moment to arrive in a variation of boat pose that works for you, or Navasana. You can super glue the feet to the ground, lift up through the crown of the head, and just let the upper body drift back until you feel the engagement of your powerful core. Stay here and breathe. Open the palms if you wish. Good. Next variation, stay there if that works, or drift back, picking up one foot and then the other. You can hold on to the thighs. You can straighten the legs. You can go in and out. Beautiful. Let's plant feet on the ground. If you have low back impingement, meet us laying down. Otherwise, the game will be how slowly can you lower down to the ground. This is a good game. Layer on the fake smile, just like we do in class. Oh, I think I beat you. That means you beat me doing this. It's great. So take a moment just to feel the earth below you and just listen deeply to yourself, just for 2 breaths. We're not done yet. We have more to do. Great. Let's plant feet on the mat here. Let's try to keep the knees close together. If it helps you to place a block between the thighs, do that. Otherwise, take a moment to feel those important points at the bottom of the feet, big toe mound, baby toe mound, and heel. Press into the feet as you start to lift off through the sacrum. Tucking under one shoulder blade and then the other. You could interlace hands together under the body. And though you're firing up muscles behind you, see if you can find some steadiness and ease in this pose. Bridge pose is so great for us. So nourishment to the whole endocrine system, nourishment to adrenals, to the thyroid, pineal gland, thymus. If you want more here, you could pick up one foot and then the other. Connect with 3 more breaths. Neck is long. Chin is not touching the chest. You have some space. And then as you're ready, just untuck one shoulder blade and then the other. Bring the whole spine down. Counter pose often feels kind of juicy after this, so let's pick up the knees. Do a little side to side rocking. Good, then let's plant feet on the mat. Pick up the right foot, flexing that foot and resting the ankle on the opposite thigh. Take the right hand and just press the right thigh away. Feeling that wonderful nourishment to the right hip, right pelvis. This is a great place to stay and breathe. If you want more, interlace hands around the other thigh, maybe picking up the left foot. Finding your 4-point stretch. And if the foot is raised, let's release it down. Keep the legs configured the way they are. Let the arms rest loosely beside you. And just notice the bottom of that bottom foot, the left foot. Rock the foot off to its outer edge, inviting the upper foot to reach down toward the ground. Check in with the head and neck. Just send the head from one side to the other. Good, then let's rock that foot back to the center. Place the right foot down. Pick up the flexed left foot. The ankle rests on the thigh. Left hand might press this away. But again, each side can be quite different, especially with hips and knees. Stay here if you need to. If you want more, thread hands around the right thigh, pick up the foot. Bring the foot back down. Notice the bottom of the right foot. Arms are extended. Let it rock to the outer edge as you invite the upper foot to arrive on the ground. Toggle the head from side to side. And just find a nice easy breath in and out. Let's come back to the center here, placing both feet on the ground. Let's pick up just the right knee, so hug it in nice and close. You could hug the knee itself or the back of the thigh if the knee is tender. Pick up the left heel, sending it toward the sky, And then just lengthen that long left leg as you send it down toward the ground. Let's find 2 complete breaths here. Again, very nourishing for psoas. That's so important muscle in the body. And then release a little bit of that hold. Left hand comes to the right knee. We guide it across the body, just to the extent that feels right to you. So just notice and feel. Beautiful twist, like wringing out the tissues of the body, just like we do a wet washcloth. So giving it a nice wring in the center. Good. Draw the knee back. Place the foot down. Now the left foot is down as well. Pick up the left knee, giving it a hug. Let's pick up the right heel. Lengthen through that right leg as you extend it down toward the ground. So we could hover a little bit from the ground, or you could bring it down, whatever feels right to you. 2 more breaths here. Good, then release both hands to the knee. Just take the right hand to that knee, guiding it across the body. Soften into the opposite shoulder. Now really giving some nourishment to the organs of digestion and elimination on this side. Good, let's come back to the center. So now let's reach for either a block or something softer, perhaps to put under the sacrum, just to get ourselves prepared for whatever inversion your body is calling for. So let the knees float up. There's nothing just like legs up. So legs up is always a great option, something I try to do every day, especially after my morning walk. Nice reversal of the venous system, great for the lymph. If you want more lymph action, you could pick up the arms, getting a little shaky through the feet, through the hands. You can do the ha or some other silly noise. Good, then just let the arms return. So stay here just holding legs up, but kind of comfy because we have something to assist under us. Or maybe you want to do some movement, some scissoring. Maybe you want to reach up and back, finding your plow pose, or setting yourself up for shoulder stand. So whatever is your favorite inversion or whatever you're feeling at the moment, feel free to do that. Even headstand, give yourself a moment to stop the video. Do what you love. And for me, I would like a little more engagement of the core, something I try to do all the time. So keeping the knees tracking straight up from the hips, I'm going to bend the upper section of my legs, so I'm making these right angles. So just follow me if you're in the mood for this too. Take fingers or hands, reaching for the outer edges of the mat. So we could take one set of toes down and imagine it's like, like something super bouncy. It bounces right back up. One and then the other. And you could say to yourself, well, I'm 65, so maybe I should do 65 of these. If that's the case, you do have to stop the tape or video. And if you want a little more action, you could hook in your imagination the knees and the ankles together. Let the toes come down at the same time. Bouncing back. Notice lower regions of the abdominals. And for something else, maybe you want to find your water wheel. So imagine knees and ankles rubber banded together. You could continue to hold on to the edges of the mat. Flex the feet. I like to exhale as the knees come close to the body. Inhale to lengthen into your wheel. It could be small, it could be big. There's no right or wrong. And the next time the knees come back, try reversing your wheel. Beautiful. As you're ready, let's just pick up the knees. Open up the knees, picking up one foot and then the other, so hands could reach for the shins, the ankles, peace fingers to the big toes. Just find a nice and easy, happy baby. And then just let the feet come down. Let the arms rest down. Give yourself a moment to tune in, and then based on what you find as you tune into your body, find those final stretches that your body is really calling for. For me, I like to walk the legs away while having the hips slightly elevated. It's a different stretch for the psoas on the front. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it to the fullest. Give yourself the time that you need. And then as you feel ready, as that feels complete, if there's a sense of completion inside, think about the props that you have nearby and what you might like to use for Shavasana, the most important thing we do together. So we have two more parts of what we do. One is Shavasana, the second is a little pranayama together. So start just by establishing the body, making those final adjustments that your body requires for you to be the most relaxed you can be, the most receptive, helping your body just really experience fully all of the shifts and movement that you've really invited in from your practice. Young Pueblo also says, a human is as deep as an ocean, yet most of us spend our lives knowing only the surface. When we decide to dive deep within ourselves, we set in motion the miracle of personal evolution, deeper self-healing. So that's what yoga is for me. I hope it is for you as well. Now in the body, laying down on your back or on your side if you require that. Props being used that would support you. Just trust that we will have together 5 minutes or so of rest. Time to let your body absorb, to deeply listen to what it is that you need. Perhaps it's nothing but just enjoyment of the here and now. Relaxing the forehead and the face. Relaxing the ears and the jaw. The neck is long and loose. Shoulders and arms just melt down toward the ground. The rising and falling of the chest and belly now softens. Hips, legs, feet. No more work to do. Allow the back body to feel heavy. And if you're comfortable doing so, just lower the eyes if you haven't already. Giving yourself a nice out breath and just allowing the in-breath to show up as it's needed, and it will. It'll come back. Enjoy Shavasana. Let's very tenderly and slowly return from this time of integration. Just offering the body a sweet breath in, just filling up with breath. And then a nice releasing exhalation. Begin to marry movement and breath, just offering some small movement through the fingers, through the toes. And letting those small things evolve into any larger stretches that your body would just find yummy right now. Eventually let the knees float up to the chest. You can pause to give yourself a little hug. And then roll onto one side in fetal pose. Important to transition carefully from the ground to sitting. And then as you're ready, use the strength of the outer arm and core to rise up to some sort of an easy seat, whatever feels good to you. You could really elevate the hips a lot. You could stretch the legs out. You could sit in hero's pose with knees close together and feet tucked under you. find a way to sit where we could breathe together just for a few breaths before we close. So today for grounding, let's just invite the nice, easy square breath. So as we make this square, perhaps think of creating your own square of self-care, a kind of container and box for yourself where you feel safe. As young Pueblo said, make self-love a priority in that box. Learn a self-healing technique. Perhaps it's tapping, perhaps it's yoga, whatever it might be. Create a space for daily healing. For me, that's always starting each day with meditation. Know that everything changes. Be kind, loving, and honest to all, especially to yourself. So let's try that square breathing technique. Let's begin with just exhaling, and then we'll breathe into the count of 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retaining the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Releasing the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. No breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Filling up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Releasing, 1, 2, 3, 4. No breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Filling up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Letting go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Emptiness, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's pause now before we end, just taking a moment to feel the body, just allowing all of the sensations to return, perhaps welcoming confidence that this type of self-care is something that will support you today. And I encourage you to use it any time you wish, using this tape or video or anything that works for you that helps you to stay nourished in your own box of self-care. Let's read. Just go back to mirroring movement and breath. Let's inhale, drawing arms up. Exhaling, palms to heart space. I invite you to join in the ancient vibration of Om, so healing. Breathing in deeply. And then honoring that bit of inner sunlight and moonlight that we all share as we say Namaste. Wonderful. So great to be with you, dear yogis. Have a wonderful day. Come back soon. Stay well.